So this is my daughter, Jamie. She is 41 years old. And if she's a brat, it's because I taught her everything she knows.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't supposed to agree to that. You weren't supposed to say yeah.
I learned a lot from you.
Brattiness is one of the best things that you ever learned, right, Jane?
I think that and stubbornness and
Oh, no.
and being the one person that always wants to talk about stuff, even when everyone else doesn't want to.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's not sorry.
Confrontation,
Well, not confrontation, no.
settling issues,
I have,
bringing stuff up.
yeah. I'm not very good at letting things fester because when I do, it makes me crazy. And I'm crazy enough without having more of that stuff, but I like to deal with issues.
You know what I like to do? Is I get something in my head, I'll write it down. I'll write it all out just to get it out of my head. And I'll read it again later in a different frame of mind to see if I still feel the same way. Often I don't. There's been like sometimes where I do, but most of the time I don't, and I'll be like, "Well, what was the big deal? Why was I so mad?" Right? And then it gets it out. It's not bouncing around in my head.
Yeah. Well, what I used to do is when I feel hurt that somebody said something that I take as a hurt. When I used to do reading, that would be a really good time to work it through my head. And sometimes at the end of it, I'm okay. Same type of thing, I'm okay. But if I discuss it with that person, I'm not all upset anymore, but I still want to.
Depends on how they react.
Yeah.
When you discuss it with them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I posted this on Facebook not long ago, but I don't know if I ever told you this. Your dad told me that I was too direct. He didn't like that. And so
Most people don't.
I asked him if he would prefer I beat around the bush, and he said yes.
Beat around the bush kind of guy. A lot of people are. A lot of people are.
But I'm a Taurus. Taurus have to go headlong into things.
Yeah, but you're also an earth sign, which means you're supposed to stay grounded.
Oh my gosh. Well, I must be mixed with something because I don't think I'm very grounded. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah. Now, Jamie's a Leo, and the only thing I know about Leos that does not describe Jamie though, is Leos like to look at themselves, like to primp and preen, they got like, if you think about a lion, they got their beautiful manes and it's all about attracting a female for them, right?
Well, the way it actually works is you do a birth chart specifically for you. Like I'm a Leo Libra. Libra is my rising sign. Right? So you have to take different parts. So what it is that at the time and place and location of your birth, looking up in the sky where all the planets were located and what signs and houses and the aspects to them also change that. So the different angles that they have to each other affect it so that each birth chart is like specific to every individual. So most horoscopes are just generic. That's why
they're not specific to anybody.
But Leos are a fire sign and they're ruled by the sun. And the sun can give life and warmth, but it can also scorch and burn.
Yeah. Now you don't like being out in the sun. It bothers your eyes.
Yes, but as long as I have sunglasses,
okay,
fine.
You're fine. I mean, obviously, I can see your tanned here.
But that's because when I was a kid, they told me not to stare directly at the sun, or I'd go blind. So I would stare directly at the sun, and I'd be like, "I'm not blind." These people talking about it now. My eyes are really sensitive.
I just want to bring something up because I have a friend Eugene. You've met him.
No. I have not.
You never met Eugene? And well, anyway, he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he's First Nations, and we were talking about the fact that how people are often judged by the color of their skin. And a lot of white people like to go to tanning salons or lay out in the sun. It's like we're trying to think, like, what the heck is that?
Because we don't want to be glow in the dark, right? And hide scars. I've noticed that I freckle a lot too, but I do tan. But I also noticed recently, because the way I was raised by my dad, I never even think about the color of people's skin or they're dressed like or like they're wearing expensive clothes. That just never, not things that come up in my mind. But I was seeing someone recently who notices those type of things, like what nationality someone is, and when it's pointed out to me, then I see it. But it's not something that I ever think about.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed, and I'm ashamed to say it, that a lot of the times, I thought people were white unless they were obviously not, and I think that's a white thing for some, right? And it's because he's half black. A lot of people think he's white because he doesn't look like he just.
I see.
Like a dark, like a tan complexion.
Yeah.
But but then, yeah, it's because we were with some people one day. One guy's from like Honduras, another girl said she's from the Middle East, and I didn't click in until they said something, and I was like, well, you know, I think most white people are just like, you know, white, except for this one guy that's obviously First Nations.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's kind of interesting, right? Yeah, people's perspective of things, or people. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, like, I just think about our family, like how, you know, as you know, Andrew, your brother Andrew is married to a Chinese girl. We have no bad feelings about that. Obviously, it's his wife, and and if they're happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's not that, it doesn't matter that she's Chinese at all. And then you know, one of your cousins, her daughter is mixed, half Jamaican and half white, and the other one is half from the Middle East. Where was he from? Her
I
dad.
thought Tara's dad was like Chinese and
Chinese and Jamaican, yeah,
So
but and I told Kathy's white.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Samara's dad is from I've just gone, it's gone out of my brain at the moment, but I think somewhere in the Middle East, maybe, you know, and not like Iran, or I don't mean that, but something like that. And we have that beautiful mixture, and personally, I like it. Okay, and you know, we have transgender, we have somebody who's gay, and all of that stuff is in our family, and I think that is just beautiful that we have that.
on the other side of my family.
Yes.
Now there's someone who married into the family, and I don't know how many kids, they have a bunch of kids, but I had to block them on Facebook because they posted things like gay marriage is ruining American families.
Oh my goodness.
Something to do with Muslims being against the poppy in some way. And then the final straw was them saying police lives matters, and sheriff, you're brave enough to do so. And the thing is not that anyone's life matters more than anyone else's, or that someone's life doesn't. It's
all lives matter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about
Black lives matter because they're the ones
being targeted, but yeah, exactly. It's kind of interesting, people's perspective, you know, they'll take this opposite side for an unreasonable reason.
And what if your
Illogical.
children who are younger now aren't ever going to tell you that they're like homosexual because of stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Or they think there's something wrong with them, or they go to one of those places where they try and force it out of you in some way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So people should be, and how is anyone else's marriage affecting your family or anyone else or American families?
You know, this is another thing when they talk about, you know, ruining marriage, people, gay people, you know, there's always going to be people, heterosexual people, still wanting to have babies and be in a regular type of marriage. Just because legal, like gay marriages are legal and lesbian marriages become legal, doesn't mean that all of a sudden everybody's going to want to become gay or lesbian. Like, it makes no sense. There's no logic to that.
Yeah.
You know, so that argument is insane to begin with, you know, or that saying that's going to ruin marriage. How is it going to ruin marriages? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so if you think about it this way, like there's people that hid what they were, and would go into heterosexual marriage because that's what they were supposed to do, and they were so unhappy, so that ruined that person. That's what's ruining people, not being allowed to be who they are.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There's an American politician, Rick Santorum, who had made a comment of something about equating gay marriage to the same as bestiality. Like if you
Oh
man can marry
my
another
gosh.
man, why can't you marry a turtle or a dog? And so there was
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
there was a gathering online that got together and made it so that the definition, when you Googled his last name, he got it changed in the last couple of years when he ran for, like, in the presidential election. And what they changed it so that the definition of his last name was the frothy mixture of lube and fecal matter that is often the byproduct of anal sex.
Oh, God. And on that note, people, you know, I just wanted to say, share a little video with my daughter. I had no idea where it was going to go, but we had a really great, I think we used to always have really some good discussions, right? You know, about the things that we agree on. The things that we didn't agree on were, well, we didn't argue so much, you and I, did we?
No.
I used to have like debates with your brother, but
Yeah.
they were planned debates, and your dad would come in thinking we were fighting, and we would both tell him to leave us alone.
Yeah.
were having, it sounds like an argument because we got heated, but it wasn't because we were angry at each other. We're just trying to get the other person to see our point of view, of course, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, people, so this is my daughter Jamie, 41 years old. Yes, I know she doesn't look at it, but you know, she comes from good genes.
Yeah.
Right? And they're not even Levi's. No name. Kind of a no name. Anyway, later peeps, I've got another interview coming up soon. So bye for now.